Reacher star offers perfect reason why Alan Ritchson would make the best Batman. Reacher Season 3 came to a conclusion recently, and fans are still shaking after the mind-blowing collision between the titular hero and the massive muscle that is Paulie, who's played by Olivia Richters, or as some know him, the Dutch Giant. While Reacher and Paulie always made sure to show their disdain for each other in the series, Richters has nothing but good things to say about his co-star Alan Ritchson. He has even offered a good reason why Ritchson would be a perfect fit for Batman. No, it isn't only because of the way he looks. During an interview with Screen Rant, Richter spoke about his co-star and why he's the perfect choice to play Bruce Wayne in a future revival of the character. Ritchson's potential casting as Batman is seemingly part of every conversation about Reacher, even if it's just a rumor. Even Ritchson has expressed his opinion about it. Regardless, Richter's argument is very strong, and you probably wouldn't want to antagonize him. Batman is always the combination of being smart, having money, but also the physical thing, and somehow Reacher has it as well. I don't want to say Reacher is autistic, but he has a way of speaking and looking, and I think Alan showed how diverse he can be in other roles. I forgot the last war movie he did, but he was so different with that accent. So with his physical ability and having experience with playing a smart guy, I think he can really play Batman. I think he also has the face for it. He has the good jaw and the hairline. I can see that it absolutely can work. I don't know if it's true, but I read that he would even do it for free. I don't think he should, but that just tells us how much he wants it. Paulie represented the perfect villain for a new entry in the adventures of the former U.S. Army police officer with a peculiar talent for getting himself in trouble. The Prime Video action hit has had its fair share of good villains, but Paulie was the one who posed an impervious threat because of his significant size, especially when standing beside Reacher. Reacher's Olivia Richters gets some credit because of his experience in the MCU. In Reacher Season 3, Richters proved that he's not only a massive dude who can fight. He was able to show his acting chops numerous times, as the Prime Video series gave him enough screen time alongside a truly compelling hero. His comments about Ritchson playing the next Batman would not be as valuable if they had come from someone with no experience in the superhero universe. As it turns out, Richters played Ursa in the Marvel movie Black Widow. Nevertheless, he doesn't exactly hold the MC very high as a franchise where you can show your acting skills. When speaking to Screen Rant, he even refers to the acting in the MCU as over-exaggerated when compared to what he does opposite Ritchson and Reacher, sometimes throwing the lines away. I've been on Marvel, and that's maybe a little bit more acting in an over-exaggerated way because you can. Reacher is more like you and me are speaking now. So sometimes he felt like, no, let's say that a bit more like it's throwaway, or we change some words. But also other simple stuff. Like, at some point a body is falling out of a car in front of me, and my line is very simple, what the FCK? And you can think, like, well, what's going to go wrong with that? But I said it, and Alan Ritchson came up to me, and he explained to me that if you say that, you should say that to yourself, you don't say that out loud. Those small things just make the line, even if it's 3 words. It's so important, the small stuff. When it comes to casting Batman, every name dropped into the conversation faces impossible standards. The actor must embody brooding intellect, physical intimidation, emotional vulnerability, and sheer charisma, often all in the same scene. It's no easy mask to wear. Yet among the current landscape of Hollywood stars, one name emerges more convincingly with each new role: Alan Ritchson. Best known lately for his commanding performance as Jack Reacher in Amazon Prime's hit series Reacher, Ritchson has steadily proven he isn't just an action star, he's a layered actor with the gravitas, heart, and sheer physicality to redefine Batman for a new generation. Recently, even Reacher's showrunner Nick Santora offered the perfect reason why Ritchson could become the Dark Knight fans deserve. The Reacher blueprint. Batman without the cowl. Santora, speaking about Ritchson's portrayal of Reacher, pointed out something that Batman fans will immediately recognize. Alan plays a genius who never needs to raise his voice to dominate a room. He's physically imposing, emotionally reserved, but underneath it all, there's a sense of deep moral code and personal pain. If you stripped away the name Reacher and inserted Bruce Wayne, it would fit perfectly. Reacher and Batman are kindred spirits, both are loners shaped by trauma, driven by a strict internal compass, and capable of dishing out brutal justice when necessary. In Reacher, Ritchson conveys that quiet storm perfectly. His Reacher says little, but when he speaks, every word lands. When he acts, it's with shocking force. And yet, the most compelling parts of his performance are often the silent moments, those rare, unguarded glimpses of vulnerability. Batman isn't just a martial artist in a cape. He's a haunted man pretending to be whole. Alan Ritchson gets that dynamic intuitively. Built for the role, literally, let's be honest, the physical element matters. Batman isn't Superman. He doesn't have superpowers. His body is his weapon. Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson all brought varying degrees of physical believability to the role, but Ritchson could take it to a new level. At 6'3" with a naturally imposing frame, Ritchson has the kind of authentic build that costume designers pray for. In Reacher, there are entire sequences where Ritchson dismantles thugs twice his number, not with movie magic, but with believable technique and sheer overwhelming presence. Fans never question if Reacher can take a punch or deliver one. It's evident in every movement. Imagine that same grounded brutality in a Batman action sequence, no CGI acrobatics, just pure, bone-crunching realism. Ritchson's Batman would feel less like a superhero and more like an unstoppable force of nature prowling Gotham's underworld. Emotional intelligence behind the cowl. But Batman isn't only fists and gadgets. The best portrayals, from Michael Keaton to Christian Bale, understood that Batman's greatest battle is internal. The pain of losing his parents, the isolation of his dual identity, the constant balancing act between justice and vengeance, these aren't just dramatic dressing. They define the character. One of Ritchson's most underrated qualities is his emotional intelligence. Whether it's moments of tenderness in Blue Mountain State, yes, beneath the laughs, they existed, or the slow burn grief of Reacher, Ritchson knows how to layer emotion into his performances without drowning them in melodrama. His acting style favors restraint, a must for a character who famously conceals everything behind a mask. A Ritchson Batman could showcase a version of Bruce Wayne who is haunted but not paralyzed by grief, who channels his pain into action but never forgets the cost. In short, he could give audiences a Batman who feels real, not just larger than life. A new kind of Bruce Wayne. Another factor to consider is Ritchson's ability to humanize larger-than-life characters. In Reacher, he plays a man who looks like he could punch through a wall, but still manages to be charming, funny, even awkwardly sweet when the moment demands it. Bruce Wayne, traditionally portrayed as the billionaire playboy, could use a bit of this authenticity. Rather than leaning into the over-the-top, James Bond-like persona, Ritchson could deliver a Wayne who feels like a real person, guarded, socially detached, yet quietly charismatic. A Wayne who doesn't need to be flashy to be interesting. It would be a refreshing shift from past iterations, offering audiences a more grounded Gotham and a more complex lead character. The timing is perfect, with Reacher continuing to climb in popularity and Ritchson earning wider recognition across Hollywood, including roles in big-budget films like Fast X and Ordinary Angels. The timing couldn't be better. He's at the peak of his physical prowess, seasoned enough to bring